Warning, Dr. Richardson may be forced to remove this video due to a major pharmaceutical company threatening a lawsuit. Watch this now while you still can. Startling new medical discovery. Your insulin prescription and diabetic drugs may soon be a thing of the past. Dr. Mark Richardson, a prominent diabetic medical researcher, is in danger of losing his medical funding by revealing this. He is being threatened with legal action and may be sued in court simply by letting you, the public, find out about this new diabetes treatment named inside this presentation. This new diabetes miracle could get you off your diabetic prescription for good. Your medical doctor is unaware of this new diabetic treatment discovery that could save your life or the life of a loved one. This video contains highly controversial information the pharmaceutical industry does not want you to see. Watch this short presentation, and in the next 6 minutes, you'll learn about a new breakthrough medical discovery. This new diabetic treatment permanently treats the root cause of both type 1, type 2, and even pre-diabetes. This breakthrough medical miracle will help diabetics like you finally become diabetes-free.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Richardson, an independent medical researcher, and my work was specializing in diabetic treatment clinical trials at a major medical university hospital. If you suffer from diabetes with memory lapses and mental fuzziness, inability to lose weight, food cravings, mood swings, fading eyesight, kidney and heart problems, and low energy, then pay close attention to the information revealed in this presentation. What you learn could mean the critical difference between losing your eyesight and going blind, or severe kidney failure and spending the rest of your life hooked up to a machine on dialysis. If poor circulation is a problem, you could end up enduring the never-ending pain of diabetic neuropathy. What's even worse is diabetic complications may occur, and you could suffer horribly when your leg is amputated from your body. You already know just one diabetic testing error with an insulin overdose could result in your going into an unrecoverable diabetic coma, or quickly losing your life from cardiac failure due to a heart attack. Don't let your loved ones continue to watch you continue to suffer with ever-worsening diabetes complications that can and do happen. Now is the time to take control of your diabetes and do something about it. If you simply watch this short presentation until the end and do what it says, you will finally understand how to naturally treat the root cause of your diabetes. This groundbreaking diabetes treatment is based on initial research carried out at the Salk Institute for Biological Studies. Scientists found a protein named FGF1 had advantages over all other diabetes drugs, including Actos, which has side effects ranging from unwanted weight gain to dangerous heart and liver problems. Researchers proved a single application of the fibroblast growth factor 1, or FGF1 protein, can restore blood sugar levels in test subjects to a healthy range. This discovery could revolutionize the treatment for diabetics around the world. Professor Ronald M. Evans, Salk's Medical Center Director, has stated, "Controlling glucose is a dominant problem in our society. With FGF1, we really haven't seen hypoglycemia or other common side effects. It may be that FGF1 leads to a more normal type of response compared to other drugs because it metabolizes quickly in the body and targets certain cell types. FGF1 offers a new method to control glucose in a powerful and unexpected way." The Saul medical researchers proved a single application of FGF1 protein in test study subjects reduced their high blood sugar levels to normal with a maximum effect between 18 and 24 hours. What's even more incredible is the stabilizing effect lasted for more than 48 hours, and blood sugar levels did not go dangerously low or result in hypoglycemia. Remarkably, repeated applications of FGF1 significantly improved the ability of skeletal muscle to take in glucose, indicating it improved the cell's sensitivity to insulin. The study proved sustained FGF1 treatment can help improve insulin insensitivity, the root cause of diabetes, and does it without causing dangerously low blood sugar levels, which can be one of the seriously harmful side effects of the present medically approved treatments. The clinical study concluded the FGF1 protein has therapeutic potential for the treatment of insulin resistance for type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and has been published in the peer-reviewed journal Nature and was verified to be medically sound. So what does this all mean for you as a diabetic? For the over 30 million Americans with type 1 and type 2 diabetes, medical science has finally found a way for any individual, young or old, to naturally formulate the special protein in their own body. This is what is about to be revealed to you right now. Now you'll hear the real truth behind why the big pharmaceutical companies are racing to block the public's and your medical doctor's access to this life-changing information. FGF1 is a naturally occurring protein, not a chemical or a drug. Proteins are naturally formed and cannot be patented, and that's why Big Pharma hates FGF1. Big Pharma is in business to chemically produce drugs for diabetes treatments so they can patent for massive profits. What's truly criminal is they can force your medical doctor to prescribe it for your diabetes treatment and make you and your insurance company pay through the nose for it. And they can do that even though natural treatments are available without a prescription. That's why the public's knowledge and the results of the medical clinical trials of FGF1 are being suppressed. Further, the clinical study proved the overall health benefits of the FGF1 protein include reduced weight loss and bone loss. It prevents liver and heart failure and increases insulin sensitivity and effectively reduces blood sugar levels even with people who have no insulin production, type 1 diabetics. Consequently, this is critical to your diabetes treatment plan. I'll cover why you need to know all about this and how this new treatment could help your body return to a more normal blood sugar levels. The FGF1 protein has proven to be active at the cellular level and works naturally with the body's own normal glucose processes to reduce blood sugar levels. This is unlike the current medically approved diabetes drugs and treatments sold by the multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies, which provide blood sugar management with the inherent risks of serious life-threatening side effects like amputation, kidney failure, liver and heart damage, stroke, and even death. The end result of this startling FGF1 protein discovery could mean you or a loved one suffering with diabetes would no longer be medically labeled as diabetic and could improve your blood sugar levels to almost normal in just 14 days from now. In light of what you've just heard, you may now be wondering why you have not seen or heard about this revolutionary research on the huge benefits of FGF1 protein on your TV, newscasts, radio broadcasts, or on the internet since this groundbreaking study was published. The truth is, several medical research teams working on FGF1 protein research projects in the past have had their funding ruthlessly cut off. Horror stories of clinical study research labs being instantly closed due to information leaks never reached the public's ears. Key medical research personnel who were too verbal about the true facts of their study results have suffered immediate firing without warning. No one is hearing the real, unvarnished truth behind who has the massive control and executive power to instigate the forced suppression of this critical FGF1 medical research information. This forced suppression is occurring at prominent medical research centers around the world. This is not just hype or a weird story made up for publicity. The following presentation will reveal documented proof of clinical study information suppression and something I experienced myself as a medical clinical researcher. I was threatened with physical violence and severe financial loss unless I complied with outside pressure to shut up and keep my silence about my test results from my own hospital's public relations department. This forced cover-up occurred to me through no fault of my own. My story is my own personal nightmare. With this type of horrific and ruthless suppression, as they, Big Pharma, instigated under-the-table strong-arm tactics to halt the release of my own significant clinical results. This travesty is going on all over the world, and the public is not even aware of it. This cover-up even involves clinical studies the world governments are running and you, the general public, are funding with your hard-earned tax money. So what are they trying to hide from you? If you or a loved one is suffering from type 1 or type 2 diabetes, you need to know. But before I get to my own personal horror story, I'd like to ask you a personal medical question about yours or your loved one's current diabetes medical condition. Do you personally feel your current diabetes treatment is doing a good job? Are the approved medical treatments for your diabetic condition working to help you with winning the battle against diabetes? Instead, you may dismally feel you are fighting a losing battle. If you look at your medical test results for the last couple of medical appointments, does it look like your treatments are significantly improving the quality of your health? Your test results don't lie. Either you are getting better or you're not. Are you starting to suffer from the debilitating side effects induced by your blood sugar-lowering drugs and constant insulin injections? Are you feeling better and getting well, or do you feel sicker and sicker? Check your insulin chart. Do you see you using more and more insulin to maintain your blood sugar levels as the months and possibly years of insulin therapy drag on? The insulin chart doesn't lie either, nor does your scale. Are you starting to suffer from serious side effects like added weight gain, increased bone loss, nerve damage and neuropathy pain, rising liver and kidney damage, and worsening congestive heart problems? Be honest with yourself and the results of your current treatment. Does your medical doctor tell you that your blood levels are improving and he feels you will soon be cured of your diabetes with his current medical treatment? Or do you despair that you or your loved one will ever be free of the wretched curse of diabetes? I'm sure you hate sticking yourself to test your blood sugar levels several times a day, constantly messing with test strips, enduring painful injections, and still worrying about effectively controlling your blood sugar levels. That is true, isn't it? There is a natural and effective solution to your blood sugar problem. You can stop sticking yourself with a needle 4 or 5 or more times a day. You can finally get rid of suffering from the ever-worsening side effects of the prescription diabetic drugs you take and paying the high cost of lifelong insulin injections. You have to endure the headache of constantly watching everything you eat. How do you deal with the ever-present worry you might overdose yourself and inject too much insulin and go into an unrecoverable diabetic shock? What if an insulin overdose causes you to lapse into a permanent coma and end with having your loved ones attending your funeral? Can you just imagine the pain they will suffer with your death? Going into a permanent coma is a horrible way to die, and it's even worse to continue to live on life support while you're wondering when they will pull the plug on you. This horrible nightmare is real and happens to good people with families just like yours. If you've been submitting to what your medical doctor, hand in glove with Big Pharma, dictates as your treatment plan, if knuckling under and continue to suffer from your current diabetes treatments really are not working for you, if you are just getting sicker and sicker as the years go by, and this is not what you want, then please listen closely to what I have to say. Instead, imagine this for a moment. What would your life be like if you could treat the root cause of your diabetes permanently in just 14 days from now? Would you believe you can effectively control your blood sugar levels without the desire for insulin injections or other diabetic prescription drugs? Are you aware of how your life would change if you had 100% treated your diabetes? What if you no longer had to endure the fear and worry of one or more of the serious health complications or side effects resulting from the current approved diabetes drugs that you take? What if I told you there is a natural solution to effectively and permanently treat 100% of your diabetes and return your blood sugar levels to near normal in just 14 days from now? Would you believe this is even possible? This revolutionary treatment works even if you are suffering from type 1 diabetes and even if your family has a long history of diabetes. That's not all. I'll also add that this revolutionary solution is proven to naturally reduce even astronomically high blood sugar levels of 250, 275, or even 300 or more to near normal. What's even better is, since it works with your body's own natural glucose regulating physiology at the cellular level, it doesn't have any harmful side effects. You probably would not believe me, now would you? I don't blame you. This sounds almost too good to be true, but it's not. I want to ask you to commit to watching this short presentation for the next 6 minutes with an open mind. You already know that this presentation is highly controversial. All I ask is for you to watch it now and listen carefully and do what it says. I promise it will open your eyes to what Big Pharma and the medical industry absolutely do not want you to know. You need to do all you can to protect your health and the health of your loved ones so the life you live and your loved ones can be a long and fulfilling one. 100% treated of the curse of diabetes. And that is what this presentation is all about. I will prove to you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, and with indisputable scientific research, that what I reveal to you will finally unlock the mystery around why your blood sugar levels are not getting better. You will know that continuing with your current medical treatment is a slippery downhill slide toward suffering from ever-increasing adverse side effects. As a diabetes sufferer, you or your loved one can experience horrible life-altering side effects, such as increased risk of blindness, amputations, kidney failure, congestive heart failure, Alzheimer's, osteoporosis, liver failure, and even cancer. What's even worse is just one mistake on a meter or a tiny insulin overdose can result in a frantic emergency ambulance call. Picture this. You or your loved one helplessly lying on the gurney, ravaged with diabetic shock, unresponsive, in a permanent coma, and suffering without hope and resulting in death. That's not what you want for yourself or a loved one, is it? Of course not. Listen closely and you will finally understand the hidden truth about this revolutionary 100% natural diabetes treatment. You will know exactly why naturally working with your body's own glucose physiology only makes common sense in order to forget this chronic disease once and for all. What I will show you involves a natural and easy do-it-yourself method that does not involve insulin or the commonly prescribed diabetes drugs forced on you by Big Pharma. I promise you, soon you will know how to break the curse of diabetes. I'll reveal how, with the right information, treating the root cause of all types of diabetes is truly possible and is a proven scientific fact, just like summer follows spring. What I say is true, and you'll see the blood sugar normalizing results with your very own eyes. How can I be confident this will work for you, even though I don't know your current state of health or your blood sugar levels or current diabetic treatment plan? The truth is, I know firsthand this works to naturally and permanently treat blood sugar levels and has worked for anyone who uses it. 3,571 diabetics have used this to effectively treat 100% of their diabetes and return to a more normal blood sugar level health. It even works with people suffering for years from type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. They proudly are living normal lives and no longer suffer the stigma of being negatively labeled as a diabetic sufferer or called a nasty name by their doctors and nurses of being a diabetic and all the limitations it forces on you and your loved ones. Instead, you would feel like a non-diabetic, period. Just getting your life back to normal would be worth almost anything, wouldn't it? Eating, drinking, and doing anything you wanted would be like a miracle. Imagine never pricking your finger for another blood sugar reading ever again. Picture happily tossing your meds, test strips, and needles in the trash. Imagine ditching the fear of suffering from diabetes and avoiding the fear of the crippling effects of and high risks of going blind, horrible foot and leg amputations, suffering kidney failure, and going on dialysis, chronic liver problems, sudden heart attacks, and paralyzing strokes. You and I both know that's just the tip of the iceberg of what can and does happen. Don't just manage your diabetes. Instead, with the right diabetes treatment, you could feel back to normal, happier, and in good health again, with no worries to speak of and living like you used to, treated of diabetes for life. The real you would come out, just like it has reappeared for all these past diabetic sufferers who used our natural diabetes treating system and now like to call themselves non-diabetic. You'll be hearing from users of the natural solution throughout the presentation, so let's hear from one of them now. Melissa Johnston is a hard-working mother with 2 5-year-old twin sons from the little town of Fort Wayne, Indiana, in the heartland of America. Melissa was really skeptical this would work for her. Here's what she had to say.
I'm now close to non-diabetic according to my latest blood test results, and my doctor confirmed this. He couldn't believe my transformation could happen so quickly. 2 months ago, I was classified as a type 1 diabetic by my doctor. I had been on diabetes medications for the last 16 years and was on disability due to my condition. I had to give up the nursing job I loved because I couldn't be on my feet anymore due to the intense neuropathy pain. My daughter found Dr. Richardson's program online, and she suggested I try it. My morning blood sugar would range from 275 to 260. And after I started the program, my blood sugar fell almost 25 to 50 points a day. In 14 days, I was averaging almost 110 to 105, all by simply eating some new foods. I can begin to eat normally again, the feeling in my feet is returning, and the pain is subsiding. I hope in another month I can go back to being a nurse again, part-time. All I can say is this program gave me back my life. See for yourself if it can work for you. I promise you won't believe how easy this is, or how well it works to lower your blood meter readings until you try it.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You've seen and may have purchased products that sound like this, that never did what they said they would do for you. The truth is, I don't want your money unless you put my methods to the test. I want you to see for yourself, with your own eyes, that this will work for you. I promise, if it doesn't, you won't risk a cent. If you are still skeptical, that is fine. I understand. I would be thinking the exact same thing if I were like you are, watching this presentation for the first time. Please, all I ask is that you just set aside your skepticism until the end. Then you can decide for yourself, of your own free will, what to do. You will have everything you need to be sure this will work for you. It only makes sense that you won't be convinced until you see your own near-normal blood sugar results with your own eyes. I know for a fact that every medical doctor you've gone to says there is no known lifetime treatment for diabetes. Your only hope is to try and manage your blood sugar levels with diabetic drugs. You submit to stabbing yourself several times a day to test your blood sugar levels and then endure painful insulin injections. You endure eating a bland, tasteless diabetic diet where you are constantly watching every bite you eat. You subject your already overstressed body with daily rigorous exercise that wear you out even more, all while you get sicker and sicker. You've been told over and over that there is no hope for a permanent treatment for yours or your loved one's diabetes. My decision to become a medical doctor and do everything I could to find a cure for the curse of diabetes was a pact I swore at my grandfather's gravesite the day we buried him. He died way too young. He was only 47 years old, all due to an insulin overdose from a faulty blood meter. My grandpa was a man everybody looked up to and liked. He did everything the doctors told him to do for his diabetes treatments. He took the medications as prescribed, ate right, exercised, and did everything he could to stay healthy. Yet still, he died due to no fault of his own. My grandmother, who loved him dearly, followed him shortly after, as she had given up living because the love of her life was gone. The deaths of my grandparents hit me hard, as I was still a teen. Shortly after, my mom was diagnosed with this dreaded disease, and the horror of the curse of diabetes continued to spread. The problem with Mom was that she felt she had done something wrong to get diabetes. Mom told me she hated going to the doctor to renew her insulin prescription. She dreaded seeing the pathetic looks on her doctor's face because she knew he would judge her, since she couldn't control her blood sugar well enough with diet and exercise, and had gained excess weight she couldn't lose. I told her not to worry, that he just didn't understand, but it still hurt her. She struggled with the test strips and the monitor and hated doing her injections. She always worried if she was doing it right or not. I was always anxious when I got a late-night phone call that some night I would get an emergency call that she had overdosed or was laying in a diabetic coma near death. Mom told me not to worry about her having diabetes, but I always did. I was aware that at any time she could be stricken down with blindness, kidney failure, a heart attack, get cancer, or even Alzheimer's, due to the prescription drugs she was taking to lower her blood sugar. We both knew the side effects she could suffer from her diabetes drugs, and the risks a mistake on an insulin chart causing an overdose could spell with a diabetic shock, an unrecoverable coma, and her death. Because of my family history when I became a medical doctor, I decided to specialize and treat diabetes patients as I knew how difficult it is living with the curse of diabetes. As I practiced medicine, I felt helpless dispensing the medically approved and ineffective diabetes drugs. I saw my patients getting sicker and sicker on the approved medical treatments. I knew the medical profession was letting us down, and I knew my patients and my mother would be dying at a younger age because of it. That's when I hung up my medical practice and turned to pancreatic research so I could work towards a 100% effective treatment for diabetes. Medical research had found operational treatments for all sorts of life-threatening diseases, so why didn't we have one for diabetes with its millions of sufferers? This really didn't make any sense to me. You will soon learn the very reason why we don't have a permanent treatment for diabetes, and the truth is almost criminal. We have found a cure or a vaccine for so many diseases which used to be killers over the last 100 years, from measles to polio to cancer, and even a treatment to extend the life of AIDS victims. It made absolutely no sense why over 30 million people were still suffering from diabetes. I remember my grandfather's death at too young an age in life, and just thinking about his dying made me incredibly sad and angry. If you suffer from diabetes, or have a loved one who does, it should make you angry too. Angry enough to stop putting up with what the medical establishment forces down your throat for treatments that do nothing to improve the condition and are only a stopgap measure for reducing blood sugar levels and are a poor regulator at best. What I am about to share with you is undeniable proof of the criminal cover-up of new diabetes research that led to a treatment for the root cause of diabetes. My story has twists and turns so incredible, you will find the story hard to believe, but it is true. My hero was Professor Johansson, a department head for our research grant. His brain was chock full of incredible genius. The professor knew more about the mysterious inner workings of how the body naturally utilized glucose and managed blood sugar levels than any other medical researcher in the world. His genius intelligence on what made the body tick and burn glucose was mind-blowing. I was part of his research team, and we were dedicated heart and soul to diffusing the ticking time bomb inside each person suffering from the curse of diabetes. We were working against the clock to snuff out the rapidly burning spark of diabetes before more people needlessly suffered criminal execution-style amputations due to the horrific side effects of Big Pharma's medicine. We already knew similar clinical study results from other prominent medical research centers had been denied publication, and the release of the study information had been blocked in the past. But we were confident, since we were protected by a major medical research hospital, that our research would become widely known and accepted. That is, if we could prove our research could effectively normalize blood glucose levels without any harmful side effects. Here's where it gets a bit weird. One day I noticed Professor Johansson was very agitated. He seemed easily upset over the littlest thing, and that puzzled me since he was normally very even-tempered. Then at 3 p.m. that Friday afternoon, the professor loudly announced to all the lab personnel to leave right away. He said in a loud and agitated voice, "You must all leave right now." I could clearly see he was very upset. When I asked him what was wrong, he cut me short. Then he apologized and took me aside and whispered to me that he had had a confidential meeting with private investors, and everyone, including me, must leave right now. This was really out of character for him to be this harsh with me. We were close comrades, and we had shared very personal stuff about our lives and pasts. We always worked together late into the night. Being told to leave and forced to go home early felt extremely strange to me. Something was definitely terribly wrong. I was worried about the professor. His health wasn't the greatest, as he was suffering from type 1 diabetes and had for years. The professor had the curse of diabetes, and this was a huge driving factor in his dedication to finding a working treatment. I knew in my heart he was getting too old, and his health was too poor for this type of private investor nonsense. I was on my way home. As I was standing in front of the elevator waiting for the door to open, I noticed 3 formidable-looking men, all dressed in black, open the door from the stairwell. Why were they using the stairs, I wondered? They stopped and waited until I went into the elevator. I only went down 1 floor, and then I doubled back up the stairs. I had to find out what they were going to do with the professor. As I snuck up to the lab door, I could tell the professor's voice was strained and getting very emotional as he talked with the men in black. The sound was muffled, and the private meeting was quickly concluded. I heard the men in black loudly talking and walking to the lab door. I quickly ran and ducked into the bathroom to avoid being seen. After I was sure the men in black had left, I went back to the lab, but it was locked. So I figured the professor wanted to be alone, and I would have to talk to the professor about his investor meeting on Monday, and I went home. But on Monday, the lab was closed. The door was locked with a sign that said, "All lab personnel report to the Public Relations Office at 8:05 a.m. No exceptions." During the Public Relations meeting, we were told we would all be assigned other research projects and that the current project was officially closed. What? We had spent over 2 years and hundreds, no thousands of dollars on this new research, and we were so close to finding a treatment. They officially announced that Professor Johansson had retired for his health. What? I couldn't believe it. This didn't make any sense to me. Later, I found the professor failed to leave any forwarding phone number or address. It was like he had completely disappeared. I tried to find him, but he had completely vanished. No one knew or would tell me where he went and what he was doing either. I had no choice, so I decided to try and forget it all. But because of my worry about the professor, this was almost impossible to do. This is where it gets really crazy. A year later, I had moved to Paris and was working on a new research grant. I was sitting in an internet cafe when I heard someone whisper my name. I turn around and, lo and behold, it's the professor. I couldn't believe my eyes. We moved to a corner booth so we could privately chat, and after some insistent prodding, he tells me what really happened that night. The professor came clean with me about what he's been doing since the project closed. He says he's been off the grid, further researching this new protein called FGF1 for glucose regulation. He reveals how, contrary to popular belief, it can be naturally produced by the body, even in type 1 diabetes patients. That night, those 3 men in black were from Big Pharma. They told Professor Johansson, either you take this money and stop your research into the natural production of FGF1, or we will be forced to terminate you and suppress your work. He told me he refused to take a payoff. That's when a certain Big Pharma interest gave a huge donation to the hospital. This donation was incentive money to force the hospital to make the professor resign for health reasons. I was stunned. He was still worried the hospital we had worked for, forced by Big Pharma, would jerk his medical license. That was why he moved to Paris to continue his work. Professor Johansson said everyone, even countries in Europe and Asia, is suppressing the results of these studies because of the long arm of Big Pharma that reaches everywhere, even all around the world. He told me that when he released his new preliminary FGF1 study findings last year, the men in black paid him another visit. This time, he took the money to shut up. His plan was to use the shut-up money they gave him to secretly continue his research in a new underground and undisclosed location. Now he wanted to know if I wanted in on the new research team, and that question was why he found me. I enthusiastically agreed. Let's do this together and find a natural diabetes treatment Big Pharma can't silence. We secretly built our own underground research facility as far from Big Pharma's reach as was possible. Big Pharma still thinks they have won. They heard nothing about us as we went underground. We tirelessly dug in and worked relentlessly on the FGF1 protein for the next couple months. And then, when we had almost given up hope of synthesizing the right combination of ingredients, we hit a monumental breakthrough. We tested hundreds of different food and ingredient combinations, which had high levels of the building blocks for FGF1. We tested exotic foods from South America, Africa, Asia, and Europe, focusing solely on the natural synthesis of the FGF1 protein with no drugs or medications involved. Our truly unique mixture of ingredients worked in combination to assist the body in naturally producing the FGF1 protein, all without any harmful side effects. We broke our cover and found the courage to let the world know about our latest groundbreaking discovery. This presentation showcases our study results and the fact that our results were accepted by online publications and finally published for the entire world to see. The result was a simple, easy-to-follow, complete system that shows, by utilizing our body's natural assets, we can effectively produce the diabetes-treating protein FGF1. The same protein, scientifically proven, and now time-tested by over 3,000 people, can permanently treat any type 1 or type 2 diabetes sufferer 100% of their diabetes symptoms. Yes, it seems unbelievable, but it is real. We have placed our miraculous findings in a new guide called Diabetes Disappear. Diabetes Disappear does not use the normal insulin pathways the current diabetes drugs favor, but instead it works with a completely different glucose regulator that is over 100 times more powerful than insulin ever was. Simply by feeding the body with the proper levels of FGF1 protein-producing foods, we essentially crank up and put into high gear our own natural glucose-burning generator, our own natural endocrine physiology, which already exists inside our bodies. That's all our glucose eliminator, the body's organs, need to burn our high levels of glucose, the proper fuel, and that's FGF1 protein. Once we feed our body what it has been starving for, our body reverts back to its normal and natural glucose-burning level. Our blood sugar level naturally and safely lowers as we feed our glucose eliminator more fuel, and it automatically regulates our blood sugar levels of glucose to near normal levels. I know it seems way too simple to be true, but it works. 3,000 people and counting have proven this so. We simply have been starving our body of the one vital nutrient it needs, the FGF1 protein. This glucose eliminator has a rock-solid sugar-regulating power that needs absolutely no insulin at all to burn as much glucose as it can get. The truth is, once you continue with the system and eat enough FGF1 protein-producing foods, you will metabolize sugar even better than you did before you got diabetes. Now, let's hear from Wyatt Martins. Wyatt could not believe this worked until he put it to the test for himself. Here is Wyatt to speak in his own words so you know this is for real.
Hi there, my name is Wyatt Martins and I've been a type 1 diabetic for over 7 years now. My insulin levels were getting so high that my doctor was afraid I was going to have a heart attack or going to a coma because of too much insulin. I had almost no feeling in my legs and feet, and I actually had to use a walker to get around. I was scared to death of amputation and becoming a burden to my wife and kids. Then Dr. Richardson contacted me and he wanted me to try this new program he had, FGF1 protein producing program. I have to be honest, I really didn't think it was going to do anything, but I had nothing to lose, so I went ahead and tried it. And I can tell you, after just 3 days of eating the specified amounts of new foods, the combinations of new foods, the feelings in my legs and feet started to come back. By the 7th day, I had cut my insulin injections down to almost half. At my next doctor's visit, after I started the program, I actually walked in there. I could walk without a walker and without any pain in my feet. As you can tell, I'm happy about all this. And my test results showed that my blood sugar level was stable and almost normal after 7 years of suffering from diabetes type 1. My doc could not believe the results. He said, whatever you're doing, just keep on doing it, because your test results show that you can forget about being diabetic. I knew my insulin injections had been going down each day before my appointment, and the new test results just confirmed that I no longer needed more daily insulin injections. I can eat what I want now, and I've actually lost some weight too. I feel good, I got more energy. And just by eating these foods and following the program, I am now treated of my diabetes, and thank you for this.
Thanks, Wyatt, for sharing. you had remarkable results, just like thousands of diabetic sufferers who are using this new program and are seeing with their own eyes just how effective this program really is. A quick warning, please do not stop taking your current diabetes medications without a medical doctor's advice. What causes diabetes and how the pancreas works? With type 1 diabetes, the body attacks the cells that produce the glucose-lowering hormone insulin, which keeps sugar, blood glucose, from building up in the blood. People with type 2 diabetes can produce insulin, but the body doesn't respond to it properly and ends up resisting its effects. This is called insulin resistance or insensitivity. At first, the pancreas tries to keep up with the rising blood glucose levels by making more insulin, but over time, the pancreas becomes overstressed and stops insulin production. A group of drugs called thiazolidinedione can restore normal responses to insulin, but they come with side effects ranging from bone loss to accumulation of fat in the liver. The medically approved diabetes drugs currently on the market aim to boost insulin levels and reverse insulin resistance by changing expression levels of genes to lower glucose levels in the blood. But drugs such as Byetta, which increase the body's production of insulin, can cause glucose levels to dip too low and lead to life-threatening hypoglycemia as well as other harmful side effects. That's where this program and using the glucose-burning power of FGF1 is significantly better and provides lasting results without all the harmful side effects. What is critically different is FGF1, even at high doses, does not trigger those side effects or cause glucose levels to drop to dangerously low levels, which is a serious risk factor associated with many of the current medically approved glucose-lowering agents. Instead, the FGF1 protein will restore the body's own ability to naturally regulate insulin and manage proper blood sugar levels, keeping glucose amounts within a safe range, effectively eliminating the core symptoms of diabetes. And what is even more remarkable is that repeated production of FGF1 improved the ability of skeletal muscle to take in glucose, indicating it improved the cell's sensitivity to insulin. This is what Big Pharma does not want you to know. The FGF1 protein is a natural protein and cannot be patented, and it is a natural treatment, so Big Pharma cannot profit from it. They don't want knowledge of these natural glucose-lowering substances and the methods for naturally lowering blood sugar levels to get out to the public. Big Pharma is running scared and spending millions in hush-money payouts to keep this quiet and close the research studies that deal with this remarkable discovery down. If this becomes common knowledge, Big Pharma will lose their $245 billion diabetes drug profits. They'd be sacrificing those billions if a non-patentable, permanent treatment for diabetes became widely available. Professor Johansson told me in strictest confidence that there really is a patented treatment for diabetes and has been for decades. Big Pharma makes sure they are the only ones who can ever profit from any type of diabetes treatment, and if they can't, they bury the research. One of the biggest errors most doctors believe about treating diabetes is the treatment has to focus on the pancreas and insulin regulation. This is a smokescreen Big Pharma has pushed for years to try and blind the public and even hospitals and medical doctors about how to treat diabetes patients. Big Pharma controls medical teaching institutions and hospitals by donating massive amounts of grant money. They control what will and what will not be taught for treatments for diseases in medical schools to student doctors. This means the training new medical doctors are receiving in medical schools and the currently approved treatments for diabetes are focusing on the wrong organ and the wrong chemical reaction. Fact, all we needed to do was focus on the right glucose organ and work on improving the ability of the body to burn glucose, not halt the production. Professor Johansson's research revealed that just a small increase in FGF1 protein takes almost all the burdens off the pancreas and allows it to heal. This allows the pancreas to rest and return to a more normal blood glucose regulation, just like it is supposed to do. Once the pancreas has been cleared of excess insulin and the body's natural glucose pathways are restored, the blood sugar levels come down and are near normal in just 14 days. Once we eliminate the core problem of the curse of diabetes, which is the problem with low glucose metabolism, blood sugar levels naturally normalize, and people who were diabetic no longer feel diabetic. This means that medical blood glucose tests will prove they are 100% treated of diabetes according to their doctor's approved medical tests. The biggest win was this worked with type 1 diabetes sufferers even if they had diabetes for decades. Even though the pancreas was no longer working, it did not matter. FGF1 is a protein that controls and speeds up the level of glucose burning, rather than trying to halt the production of glucose through glucose-eliminating diabetic drugs or low-glucose diets. And that is why this works. A word of warning. While the results that the breakthrough FGF1 protein brings are breathtaking, it is extremely important you do not go out and try to purchase this protein as a chemical or any other pre-synthesized form. These samples are purely for research and are wholly unfit for human consumption, let alone ineffective and untested. The only natural, 100% safe and effective means of implementing the FGF1 protein is to produce it yourself, naturally, in your own body, using our doctor-approved, all-natural methods you will discover in Diabetes Disappear. I'd like to let Anna, a type 1 diabetes sufferer, speak about her experience using the program.
Hi, my name is Anna, and unlike many diabetes sufferers, I have had type 1 diabetes since I was born. My mother had it, and that's how I contracted it when she was carrying me as a baby. So I've had to cope with diabetes my entire life. I'll be honest with you, living with diabetes is pure hell, not to mention the huge expense of treatments. Because I have type 1 diabetes, I highly doubted Dr. Richardson's program would even help me. Well, after the first day, I felt a change in my body. I woke up that morning and I actually felt better. I slept better, I had more energy, and my blood sugar levels dropped. That has never happened to me before, no matter what diet I tried. Well, each day I wanted to use less and less insulin. Now, by the 7th day, my blood sugar level was close to being normal. It was close to 100 to 105, and I was still eating a diabetic diet. Well, I was a little scared about this change, so I went to the urgent care and I had the nurse double check my blood sugar levels. She then alerted my doctor, who also double checked my blood tests. My doctor said, "This is incredible. Your blood glucose levels are almost normal. I don't know why, but I want you to keep doing whatever you're doing to make sure that these results are maintained. Be careful, of course, to double check your readings before taking any more insulin. And also, your blood sugar. You always have to double check your results." He did say that now that they're on the normal, I am medically similar to a non-diabetic. He said he wanted to see me the following week and keep up the good work because it's working for me. Well, honestly, I never believed anything could help my diabetes because I was born with it. So I went back for another checkup. And now it's been 2 months since I started the program, and I am still 100% treated for diabetes.
This is vitally important if you are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You will see even faster results as the newly produced FGF1 protein will help burn off the excess glucose quicker as your pancreas is still working. When you eat the new foods containing levels of the building blocks of FGF1, because your pancreas is less damaged, it will naturally heal, regenerate itself, and return to almost normal functioning, even sooner than it does for type 1 diabetics. Here's Don Walker. Listen to what he had to say after using the program for only 4 days.
Hey there. My name is Don Walker, and I am a type 2 diabetic. Now, I hate giving myself injections of insulin. I tried the program, and the next day after I woke up, I just felt better rested. I had raided the refrigerator the night before for a midnight snack, and I figured that my numbers would be way up. I shook my head as I knew that the reading could not be right. My meter was reading way off. So I used another test strip and I tried it again. I was down almost 50 points from the day before. I got so excited because I was at near 147. The readings just got better and more consistent the longer I was on the program. My friends cannot believe that I can eat normally again. I cannot describe how liberating it is. I never want to stop. I will be on this program and eating these foods for the rest of my life. I am thankful I found it. Please try to get this to as many people as you can because it will surely save thousands of people the grief of suffering from diabetes. Dr. Richardson, I just want to thank you so much. I have recommended this to every diabetic I know.
You're welcome, Don. I want to thank you for sharing. As you can see, the FGF1 protein works no matter if you are suffering from type 1 or type 2 diabetes and works fast to restore blood sugar levels to near normal quickly and easily just by eating some new foods and following this program. Now, it's decision time. That is why I decided to create this presentation, so you, the tax-paying public, would finally know the truth behind the phenomenal research success of FGF1 and how you can naturally produce this miracle protein yourself from the comfort of your own home. Now I'll tell you how you too can get access to the natural glucose-lowering methods and the unique combination of high FGF1 producing foods we discovered. This program belongs in your hands and your loved ones' hands. It is for anyone who is personally suffering from the curse of diabetes. And now you can experience these exact same results in just 14 days or less. Melissa Johnston, Wyatt Martins, Anna Stillman, and Don Walker are just an extremely small sampling of the people who have turned their lives around with this program. Get the program and join the thousands who are happily confirmed to be 100% treated of diabetes. In just a moment, you will gain access to this revolutionary program called Diabetes Disappear. Then you can try it for yourself and put it to your own test, basically for free. You'll be able to begin healing your pancreas and restoring your blood glucose levels as soon as you download the program and read it. You will know exactly what foods to add to your diet and what's inside the rest of the program. Inside the program is vital information to not only produce and increase the FGF1 protein levels in your body, but also what you need to do to help heal the other vital organs in your body, including your liver and kidneys, as well as improve the health of your intestinal tract. By following the simple steps in the program, you will be able to heal your body from the inside out and effectively repair the years of damage from diabetic drugs. You'll enjoy a higher glucose metabolism, which results in a higher fat-burning metabolism and improved weight loss. You will benefit by a lower body weight with a slowdown of how fast the body ages, too. You will be thrilled with your new weight loss as you see some of the weight you gained by taking diabetes drugs is gone. You can use the program with confidence, as the Diabetes Disappear program was created by Professor Johansson and I, and is the product of over 2 years of rigorous clinical testing and research to ensure your safety and health. We've helped over 3,571 diabetic sufferers with the Diabetes Disappear program before we felt confident to release it to the public. The phenomenal success of our test subjects and their quick response to the program assured us we needed to share it with you today. The choice is up to you. Professor Johansson and I guarantee the Diabetes Disappear program is easy to follow. The program will tell you exactly what extra foods you need to eat every day to add to your normal diet. The program includes suggestions for removing toxins from your liver and kidneys and for improving the biological flora of your intestinal tract to help remove the harm to your body that years, if not decades, of harsh diabetes drugs has caused. The program is simple and uncomplicated. Please do not underestimate just how fast this will help you get your blood sugar levels back to near normal. The information you will receive when you buy the program is very powerful. Caution: our concern is for you to be careful and monitor your blood sugar more often. We caution you to follow the program closely to ensure that your blood sugar does not fall too low or too fast. Always carry a high-carb food with you to avoid a problem with too low a blood sugar. The speed in which your blood sugar will lower will amaze you. We want you to follow the daily program closely and stay on track so as to not force your blood sugar to fall too fast. So please, follow the program closely for the surest success. We are only an email or phone call away, and our support staff helpline is standing by 24/7, ready to answer any question you might have. Our program is based on over 3,571 successful users and is tailored to treat the root cause of diabetes permanently, effectively, naturally, and safely. Now, you may be wondering what the cost of this program is. I know you need this right away, and I want to get this into your hands as soon as possible. The Diabetes Disappear program belongs to you and your loved ones, the people who are actually suffering from this dreaded disease. Professor Johansson and I know this program is invaluable to those who need it most. Our team invested years of research and a huge investment of our own private funds to conduct the study, develop, test, and finally launch this presentation in order to bring the Diabetes Disappear program to you. We know once you try it and see how well it works for you, the value to you or a loved one with diabetes is priceless. The cost is not going to be what you would pay for a month's worth of insulin injections, which would be $400. It won't even cost you half that at $200, and not even $100, because we want you to have it at the lowest price possible. The cost will be just enough to cover our cost to produce it because we want to be sure and get this in the hands of as many diabetes sufferers as we can. The Diabetes Disappear program is the most revolutionary program available anywhere at any price that is only $37. The $37 is just a nominal payment that will help us keep this website up and running. Press the Order Now button below this video and fill out the form on the next page to get started right this second. You decide if you want to keep the program. You have 60 days to try it and prove to yourself that it works. I promise, in 14 days or less, you will know from looking at your lower blood sugar results that this is worth almost any price. Your 100% money-back satisfaction is guaranteed when you try the Diabetes Disappear program. We'll return your deposit with a smile at any time in the next 60 days if you are unsatisfied for any reason. You say the word, and we will refund every penny you paid. The refund rate is almost non-existent, as we have very few asking for their money back. This program will help you to effectively treat the root cause of both type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and you will see verifiable results in just 14 days or your money back. And it's yours to test drive for a whole 2 months after you press Order Now below. When you use the program as directed, it will help manage your blood sugar levels to near normal. By this we mean you can make an appointment with your doctor, and when he sees your new blood sugar results, he will want to say you are no longer medically a diabetic, provided you consistently follow the program. He will be shocked to say it. He may not even be able to explain it, but he will say it within 14 days. Now, here is more good news for you. When you order today, you will receive 2 premium bonus gifts as our personal thank you for putting your trust and faith into our program. The first premium bonus gift we'd like to give you is the Deep Sleep Protocol. Natural, powerful methods for dealing with insomnia and helping you get the rest you deserve. One of the biggest problems diabetics face is getting enough restful and restorative sleep. Inside this first premium bonus gift, you will discover little-known triggers which are preventing you from getting the restful sleep you need. Read the guide, and by reducing your anxiety and relaxing your body and mind, you will enter a restful and peaceful state which will result in more restorative sleep. This first complimentary gift covers intermittent and long-term insomnia and the causes and cures for it. Certain foods can prevent sleep, and there are sleep-enhancing foods. A comprehensive list of these foods is included in your free gift. Commonly used herbal sleep agents are covered to help induce the deepest levels of body and mind repairing sleep. Finally, you will receive enlightening information on bedroom distractions which may be harming your ability to fall into the deeper REM sleep modes. This book covers everything you need to know to help you experience the best sleep of your life. This fantastic guide, worth $39.95, but yours free when you order now below. The second premium bonus gift you will receive is the marvelous 500 Delicious Diabetic Recipes book. For people who would love to indulge in sweets, this is the delicious diabetic recipe book for you. These tasty diabetic recipes were created by a licensed dietitian and will be just what you have been longing for to satisfy your sweet tooth. This yummy recipe book includes recipes created by world-class cooks and bakers dedicated to giving you tasty recipes you can enjoy without guilt. This delicious recipe book includes family favorites like chocolate chip cookies, brownie torts, low-cal cheesecake, banana bread, walnut cake, creamy chocolate fudge, shepherd's pie, Italian spaghetti, shrimp scampi, beef stew, and much more. This guide, jam-packed with magnificent diabetic-friendly recipes, is worth $59.95, but yours absolutely free when you hit Order Now below. Just take a moment and ask yourself these questions. Do you want to be there for your family 10, 20, or 30 years or more down the road? Do you want to be the mom, dad, or grandparent who is healthy, or the sick diabetic who is a burden on the family? Picture the happy family events you would miss if you die 10, 20, or 30 years sooner due to diabetes as you get sicker and sicker as each year goes by. Do those thoughts fill you with sadness? They should. If you don't take care of your health and take care of yourself, who will? It really is up to you. Wouldn't you love to eat birthday cake with your family, but you can't because of your diabetes? Do you really want to worry your family that you may suffer blindness, a horrific amputation of a foot or a leg, kidney failure, a heart attack, or fall into a diabetic coma due to an overdose from your diabetes medications? Of course not. Instead, picture your life as it used to be before you had diabetes. Remember when, if you wanted to eat a donut, you did, without harm? That can be your life again. Take a moment and imagine being permanently treated of diabetes. Picture the relief and the incredible feeling of freedom. Trust me, living free of these fears is going to make you feel a freedom like you've never felt in years. Like it was before you were diagnosed with diabetes. Remember how life was then? It was normal, right? Picture your life as a non-diabetic and the security of knowing you will always be there for your family. Imagine living a normal life a month from now, after you have used the program for 30 days. Your pancreas is healed, and your blood glucose levels have stabilized. You know now that when you see your doctor again and he shows you your latest blood test results, they will prove you are treated of diabetes. There is no replacement for knowing you are back in control of your life and it is back to normal again. Imagine being able to say to your loved ones with pride in your voice that you'll always be there whenever they need you. Soon, you will see the happy expression on their faces when you tell them you don't want to have to stick yourself with a needle anymore and you are healthy again. That smile that instantly brightens their face will stay with you forever. Imagine being able to stop using harmful diabetic drugs which can force you to an early grave with their risky complications and side effects. What you need to do now is look below this video. Click the Order Now button below. You want to fill out the form on the next page. Download the program. Start treating your diabetes right this second. Take control of your health and your life now. Still hesitating? You know you could go blind from your diabetes medication. Do you want to risk it? Your doctor may be forced to hack off your foot or a leg to save your life. Do you want to risk it? If there is even a 1% chance that either of those horrible tragedies could happen to you, doesn't it make sense to try this program to prevent it? Put this program to the test for yourself. Try it for just 14 days and see if this works for you. You have up to 60 days to decide if you want to pay for it after you've completed the program. You'll either be happy and excited to pay for it, or you won't pay a penny. What is directly treating the root cause of diabetes worth to you? Much more than the tiny cost of $37. Take control of your life and get back to normal. Make your decision to get well. Hit the big Order Now button below, right now. Fill out the form on the next page. It's safe. It's secure. Then the Diabetes Disappear program will be in your hands. You have nothing to lose and only a new life, free from diabetes, to gain. One last thing I want to mention. Remember, Big Pharma is hoping you won't be smart and buy this. Big Pharma is doing all they can to keep this from you. They want you to keep spending your hard-earned money on their diabetes drugs that do nothing to get at the root cause of the problem with your diabetes. They want to keep selling you blood sugar test strips, expensive insulin injections, and blood sugar monitors that do nothing to eliminate your diabetes problem. They want you to keep seeing your doctor in order to renew your prescriptions so they continue to profit month after month, year after year, until you die too soon and too young, like my grandpa did. Don't let them win. You can have the knowledge to fight back. Join us in treating the root cause of diabetes once and for all. It all starts with you, and if you want to live a normal life again, click the big Order Now button below. Do it now before this video completes and closes for good. Don't lose your last chance to get this. The video will close in just seconds from now. You're still here? You may have some final questions that need answering before you decide to buy the Diabetes Disappear program. Let's get to the few of the most common ones. Question number 1. What exactly am I buying? Is it a book? Is it being shipped to me? This is an online program which is available on our website in our members-only area. Once you buy the program, you can safely and securely download the program there. You can print out the program if you like. This is available in a digital version that you can open on any computer and even read on your mobile phone if it has Adobe Acrobat Free PDF Reader. A digital version saves you money on shipping and handling, and it also gives you the chance to immediately start using the program just minutes after you order. Question number 2. I am a type 1 diabetic. Will this really help me treat my diabetes? Yes. We have hundreds of case studies showing how this works to treat the high blood sugar levels associated with type 1 and type 2 diabetes. With continued use, the program will help to restore near normal blood sugar levels. This means the fact that your pancreas is unable to produce insulin becomes irrelevant and is not a problem with this program working for you. Question number 3. I have a busy schedule. Will this take much of my time? No. The entire program will take approximately 4 to 6 minutes per day, and following the program will be simple and easy to do. Question number 4. Diabetes is in my family for many generations. Can this still work for me? Absolutely. Every person, no matter how genetically predisposed they are, has the right body physiology necessary to regulate blood sugar properly. We will show you how to help improve the efficiency of your glucose-burning metabolism to help manage your blood glucose levels and help restore them to a near-normal state by consistently following the program. Question number 5. Will my doctor approve these methods? This program was developed by doctors, and nearly every doctor we've shown this program to is very enthusiastic about it. We must be prudent, however, and say you should check with your own doctor before you begin the program. Question number 6. I worry about buying things online. Is my order secure? Yes, it is. We use the triple encryption security systems used by all the large banks and financial institutions. Your information is actually safer on our website than it is with an actual purchase, like at a local store. If you have more questions, many of them are answered inside the program. Remember, after you order, you will have direct access to our helpful support staff to assist you with any additional questions you may have. Hit the big Order Now button below. Get your hands on a copy of the Diabetes Disappear program now, before this video closes for good.